Welcome back to my channel, beautiful people. Today we are making a seafood boil ramen, y'all. This is super, I guess, viral on TikTok. You know, I'm just trying to stay young. So I seen it and I thought it would taste yummy. So I'm going to show y'all how I made mine. Here's all the ingredients that you're going to need. All the spices that I already have done. Those will be listed in the description below. But we have our noodles, our shrimp, some kielbasa or beef sausage, some corn, some onions, some minced garlic, some eggs, and some already done potatoes. And the first thing that I'm doing here is putting the corn in the skillet so it can get a little roasted. I wanted as much flavor in this bowl as possible, and all the different items that come together are so good. Y'all are not gonna regret trying out this recipe. So I just put the corn in there with a little bit of butter, some salt and pepper, and I just let it cook until it got to the brown that I wanted it to be, so it was very lightly roasted. And it's up to y'all how long you want your corn to cook. Now we're jumping into the ramen, and y'all can literally use any kind of ramen you want. You can use the cup of noodle, the one in the bag, whichever one that you like noodle-wise, go ahead and use it. My one tip about the noodle, though, cook that like very last, because they don't take very long to get to the texture that you want. So just make sure you put your noodles on last. Here I am chopping up the kielbasa, or I guess it's not kielbasa, it's smoked sausage. Whatever, I'm cutting up the sausage. And I just wanted it in a different kind of shape, because y'all know you eat with your eyes before you eat with your mouth. So I wanted, you know, some different shapes in there just to give it a little bit more life. Now I'm just throwing the sausage into the pan, and I'm going to let those cook until they get to this stage right here. Those look good to me. Some people like theirs a little bit crispier. Some people don't want them to get, you know, that crispy. So it's up to y'all how long you keep them on the stove. But this right there is perfect for me. Now we're jumping into the shrimp. I just added a little bit of butter to that same pan that I cooked the sausage in, because it's flavor, y'all. You want to save the flavor, as much flavor as possible. So I'm just throwing the shrimp in there on top of the sausage and the butter, and I'm gonna let my shrimp cook down. I'm actually gonna let my shrimp fully cook, because the way that I did this dish, I'm not adding it into my sauce. I just put the sauce on top. But I've seen it done so many different ways. Sometimes people like throw the shrimp in the sauce and let the shrimp cook that way. It's totally up to you what you want to do, but I wanted to do everything separate. So I'm adding a little bit of some paprika, lemon, lime seasoning to the shrimp to give them their own flavor. The seasoning is really good, y'all. I found this at Home Goods. And I honestly don't know if Home Goods like carries the same thing all the time, but I'd seen it and I could not walk out the store without it, and I do not regret that purchase. That the flavor is just really good, especially on the shrimp. So now I'm just letting my shrimp get to the pink stage. One of them tried to run away. But just letting them cook all the way down till they're completely ready to come off, which is all pink. You know, you don't want them to be like translucent. You don't want them to be kind of see-through, because they're not done. So just make sure they're pink all the way through, and then you can take those shrimps off. And now it's time to move over to our butter sauce. Now, again, I did not clean out the pan, so the pan is full of all the flavor from everything that I've cooked in it so far. And that's just going to add even more flavor to this butter sauce. So here I'm just melting down my butter. I did about 2 sticks of butter. Now that butter is up to you how much you want to do. I wasn't trying to clog, a whole artery, so I didn't add like 5 or 6 sticks like I did the 2 sticks. Also because I'm sharing with my babies, and that's just what I prefer it not to be as buttery. So y'all go ahead and figure out how much butter you want to use for this. And it also depends on how much noodle servings you're trying to make with it also. But 2 sticks for me was perfect. So I'm just waiting for that butter to just go ahead and melt down. And once it gets down to where I want it, you will see me throw in some chopped onions. And the onions can be as thick or as thin as you want them to be. That just depends on how long you want them to cook. They cook faster if they're thinner. If they're thicker, they're going to take a little bit more time, which is no problem. So there you see me throwing in my onions and my minced garlic. I did about a tablespoon of garlic and a half of a large onion. And so I just, sliced that onion, and then when I was done slicing it, I cut it in half again to give more pieces of onion to just be in every bite. So at this stage, we're just melting down the butter. We're getting the butter incorporated with the onion and the garlic, and we're letting our onions cook down. So this stage is kind of, a little bit extra because you really got to watch it and make sure it's getting down to where you want it to be. So now we are going to jump into putting the seasonings in. And it's basically whatever you would use in your crab boil, like your seafood boil. So if you've never done a boil before, all the ingredients is going to be below. But if you have a special way you like to make your boil sauce, this is how you would make your sauce. So you use the ingredients that you would normally use. I also I forgot to video, but I added some vegetable broth and water in there to also thin out the seasonings. You can add chicken broth, beef broth, whatever you prefer. I just really like my veggie broth that I have. So I added that in there, and that pack that you saw was from the noodles. So I just added the noodle sauce pack also, and a little lemon juice, and y'all let that simmer for about 5 to 6 minutes. And it's ready, y'all. We are already now into the stage to plate. This is my favorite part. Y'all know I love to make my plate look pretty. So here we go. We just add in the noodles first. And we're just going to get them in a pretty little bunch, in the middle of our bowl. And around the edges, we're going to add all the rest of our ingredients. And you eating this, so you put as much of whatever you want, in each portion. So I just put the potatoes down. And I used the russet potatoes, y'all. So I peeled it because I don't like the skin on mine. You can leave the skin on yours. You can use red potatoes, whatever potatoes you want to use, basically. But that's just what I had on hand. So as you see, I put the sausage down. Now I'm putting some corn down. And you can kind of see how roasted the corn is also, since I didn't give y'all an after shot of that. We got our beautiful shrimp going in. And last but not least, our eggs. And I didn't show y'all boiling the eggs because I know y'all know how to boil an egg. Boil it to where you want it to be. Let it cool, cut it in half. Boom, baby. Now I'm just throwing on the sauce. That buttery, juicy sauce goes all over the top of it. And y'all, it was so good. I do not regret trying this out. It was so delicious. Don't forget that sprinkle of green on top. And look, y'all. Let me let y'all take that in. Delicious.
have something to live for now.
You good? Yeah.
I would give this an A plus and a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
And that's all for this video today. See ya.
Thank you always for coming back to my page. If you have not already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Click that notification bell so you'll always be up to date on every time a video is posted. And if you learned anything new from this video, go ahead and like it, y'all. Until next time, I appreciate you and love you like always. Bye.